Hello and welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri for the final 9 holes of Heiser Media's coverage of the Grip EQ 42nd Kansas City Wide Open presented by DFX Discs. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Qualifier Series event. We're very excited to bring you this coverage. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth by Dan Brooks Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Man, it is a hot one out here. It is tight and wooded, but we got some good players on this card.
Drew Gibson is absolutely shredding 5 under through 9 holes. The rest of our card looking to give him a run for his money as we compete for this Q Series title. A couple of other guys on the leaderboard trying to make moves as well.
Yeah, got to keep hacking away out here. Got to finish off this 9 holes. Hole 10, par 3, 487 feet. A lot of people like to lay up to right here. But if you want to, you can go for this green surrounded by OB. So when the wind picks up, it's tough to do it. But hey, this is the final 9. It's kind of go time.
Yeah, especially if your name is not Drew Gibson on this card. You got to start making up strokes somehow. Looks like GT, though, is content to just lay up. It's been his strategy all 3 rounds, just playing for the par. Why change it now?
Yeah. And honestly, I really don't mind the play. It is tough to land that green, especially in this wind.
I would expect Drew would be the only guy who could possibly go for it on a day like this. And if he's laying up,
yeah,
I think everybody else on the card is probably going to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it yesterday. It's just not worth it.
Although I will say,
you have to.
that one, yes, but at the same time, we saw 2 out of the 4 guys on the card mess up the up and down after laying
true.
up. So, if you're not confident to get up and down in the wind from 200 feet, then maybe go for it anyway. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I would say most guys should be at least, but stuff happens, The other thing about this hole and going for it is like the left side's not OB, so a lot of people find themselves in that tree patch over there. So it's just tough, but pick your poison.
Yep. So we got 4 layups. Micah up first. Throws a nice upshot. Should keep him close enough to secure the par. Braeden up next.
Yeah. And this hole, since laying up, it should... Oh, no. Oh, and that takes away what I was going to say. Braeden does find himself OB, and he will be putting for his bogey back there.
Yeah, and that's not a close putt either. That OB is like 35, 40 feet long to the basket.
Yeah.
It's not really that close. So that's a pretty bad mistake there from sides. Drew Gibson goes a little long himself, but still well within makeable putting range.
Yeah, it should probably be all right. This one's looking pretty good as well.
Oh, yeah. Sticks it nice and close. So, yeah, this is a bogey comebacker for sides in the wind as well. It's a good one to limit the damage.
Nice. Very nice, yeah. Yeah, that is a tough double bogey to take after laying up, So,
yeah,
good on him.
Yeah, and as these guys, well, I guess a little bit of a tester for Drew. We won't move on quite yet.
Not yet. A little windy.
Tailwind, yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to trust it, aim for the band, know the disc is going to drop in there 9 times out of 10, unless sometimes you get that weird tailwind lift.
Mm-hmm. And Drew has been solid on the putting green all day. You can't shoot 5 down after 10 and not be solid there.
Yeah. So, yeah, as these guys tap in their pars, We only had one birdie on the day on hole 10, the third hardest hole on the course, or fourth hardest, I should say. Tyler Grzinski with the 2. I am curious if he threw it in or if he just full sent it and made it. If you're watching, Tyler, please let us know.
Hole 11, par 3, 383 feet. A lot of people like to take a flex line on the top left side. OB left, OB right, OB behind, elevated green, windy as well. A lot of challenges.
Yeah, tough to control the full flight of the disc on a hole like this in a tough crosswind. We will see how these guys execute it. Looks nice out of the hand from Hancock. Just needs a little bit of finish, and he gets it.
Mm-hmm. Well done. Yeah, we saw, and we have seen guys like first card, second card go a little deep OB, because you're really just focused on ripping one through that gap, and the distance can kind of get away from you.
Bit high from Drew, catches a little bit of cabbage, and that is going to cost him because it's going to fade out left OB with a very long par putt coming up, most likely a layup with another slightly elevated basket.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about with those 2-stroke swing holes. And we have an opportunity for that here. And Micah just putting an awesome angle on that one. Good speed control and everything.
Yeah, really well thrown. He sticks it on the hillside. Braeden, this is underturned. Is it going to hang on? Not this time, unfortunately. Finds the left side out of bounds as well.
So here's Drew. C2, pretty deep C2, uphill.
Ooh. And that's definitely going to be a tester coming back.
Yeah. Wow.
That is a great par putt from Braeden. We've seen him knock down a couple of those long putts.
Yeah, Braden's got a strong putt. He's direct and to the point. If it's on the chains, it's sticking in. But here you go. This little bit of a headwind. Actually, a pretty stiff headwind.
Yeah, from probably just inside the circle as well for Drew. Big putt here for bogey. And there's the lift.
Just a bit high, yeah. And now there's a chance for GT to tie this up. Man. He definitely wants that one back. That's one you want to knock down in this situation. In any situation.
Yeah, I mean, still is going to take 2 strokes back from Drew, but at the same time, momentum-wise, he's still over par for the round and definitely not feeling the best, I'm sure, after that miss. Yeah, and Micah, with that birdie, still very much in this thing. He's at 8 under as well. Mm-hmm. Drew's about to go to 9. So we kind of got ourselves a bit of a 3-horse race here.
See Drew taking his time, making sure he's mentally ready, even for these shorter ones. That is the first blemish on the card for Drew, but he is still 3 down through 11 holes, which is still a fantastic score here. And we're moving on to hole 12, par 4, 652 feet, super tight tunnel off of the tee. Trying to get into this landing zone here to have a shot up in through another tunnel into this green. So in the past, played as a par 5. The past 2 days, we saw this play a full stroke over par. So getting a 4 is a good score.
Yeah, it's still playing as a par 5. They just call it a par 4 this year.
Yeah.
It was looking nice from Micah. Just pulled it a bit.
They just want you to feel a little worse about yourself.
Exactly. If I've learned anything from playing on the Pro Tour, it is that they love to make you feel worse about yourself. This is pulled from GT, hits early, and that's going to be trouble. Uh-oh, that's...
Yeah, that's pulled. Yeah, that's, and like you said before, that's kind of been his miss today, right?
Yep, just a little bit of a late release, maybe opening the shoulders a little too early. Drew now with a chance, with nobody really in position. He's got his trusty buzz in hand. This is a gap he hits 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And I like that play. With his power, just throwing a straight mid. That's what guys used to do when it was a par 5.
Oh my god, this is just filthy.
That'll do. Got a little drift to the right, but he'll be in a great spot.
Yeah.
So everybody else is scrambling. Braeden with not a terrible shot does fade off a bit into the left side, so we'll see if he's able to get up and down for the par from there. GT not a terrible lie either, but he catches early and is still going to be out of position.
Yeah, and he got kicked to the left. That's going to cut him off a bit. I like this layup. If it gets down by Micah.
Yeah. Does stay in the middle. GT has to get aggressive here now to try to save the par, and it's not going to happen this time.
No. Groth here has definitely a little flexy forehand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was looking so nice.
Dude.
Just catches a late tree.
Dude, I wanted to see that finish. Oh, Drew, just, you see, he just drifted a tiny bit to the right. Look what he has to deal with.
Oh, he does not care.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, for you people throwing fairways off the tee, let's try some mids next time. That was beautifully done.
I mean, I think if we could all throw as far as Drew Gibson, I would, at least for speaking for myself, I would only throw putters and mids.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, the rest of the cards still struggling on this hole as Drew is just parked for birdie. So all those strokes that he lost on the last one, going to get him back, if not more. Nice upshot there from sides, does stick it close.
Even this is not super easy. Oh, man.
So I think GT is about to take a double bogey of his own.
Yeah.
We got stroke swings all over the place, Dan.
It's so easy to happen on this hole, man. And we're not done. Like, there's so many other holes that the same thing can happen. Back and forth.
Yeah, especially with the pretty much every hole having fairly tight OB lining the fairway. It's just you throw bad shots, you get punished, and that's how high level disc golf goes.
Yeah, that's right. No surprises there. And this is an important putt for GT here. Doesn't have to think about it too much for the triple bogey, unfortunately. And he is going to lose 4 strokes to Drew.
Wow.
Yeah. Big turn of events there for Hancock. Groth keeping it to only a bogey. Not too bad. Hole 13, par 3, 364 feet OB lining this fairway all the way up and into this green, which is surrounded by OB. So any tall grass, that's not good.
Yeah, we've seen some guys go with the soft hyzer play. Some go straight at it. That is what Drew is going to opt for, but this one is fading out early and out of bounds.
Yeah, that's decently early out of bounds. Looking probably C2 or just to the edge of C2.
Yeah, there is a lot of space out. Micah going backhand. This is surprising. There's a ton of space out to the left. You would think that he would be going with just a nice hyzer forehand here. Decides instead to go backhand, and that is going to be out of bounds as well.
And that has to be OB early. I don't think there's really much OB or inbounds to cross.
Yeah, so Braeden's going to try to do the same thing. This is looking like a much better line. And it's in.
Whoa!
Braeden sides, count it 1. That is an ace on the 13th. What a shot.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness, we got to take another look. Braeden sides with just the nice soft hyzer flip down the right-hand side. And the basket gets in the way.
Unreal. Run it in. What's he doing? Run it down.
It's a little too far, a little too hot
Yeah.
in Missouri this time of year. So
All right, top it off, GT.
he can get the disc later. GT trying to stack him up, unable to, but does throw a nice shot there. Going to put him in birdie range, looking to get at least 1, maybe 2 strokes back on both of these guys that are leading him at the moment.
Yeah, as you can see, Groth, he did go OB very early and opts for the forehand on his upshot and executes it pretty well.
I love to see it. So big putt here now for Drew. He's in deep circle 2. Looking to save the par. Not a bad effort, but just a bit low.
Yeah, that was close. So another opportunity here for Hancock to get 2 strokes back from Drew.
And he connects.
And Groth. Yeah, very nice.
This has just been a crazy round.
I mean,
I think we've had like 4 or 5 2-stroke swings on at least 2-stroke swings on holes between these 3 guys that have been kind of battling. And with that ace, Braeden is back in it. Like he's going to be 5 back of Drew.
Yeah.
With 4 or 5 holes left, so he is not out of it by any means.
Just need to catch a hot streak here at the end, and it's a tough hole to do it on. Hole 14, par 4, 859 feet. OB on the right. There's a Mando to go around as well. If you can throw it far enough and get a late flip, you can get yourself to this landing zone, then have a shot into this green. There is OB on the left, OB on the right, and the pond OB behind the basket. So so what we've seen from this hole is tough to get to an appropriate landing zone to go for the green. A lot of people opt to just hyzer out and then pitch up twice. But we will see what these guys choose to do needing strokes.
Yeah, like that's a great tee shot from Braeden. That's about as good as you can do on this hole. The challenge is just that, it's probably 400 plus feet into the green from there, downhill, with 30. OB on both sides, and it's blind. Very difficult shot shape too.
Yeah.
So
just keep going.
Do I need to? Yeah, I was gonna say, how many more things can I say?
There's birds chirping.
Yeah, not that it's a bad hole, but it is just very demanding.
No, it's not a bad hole at all. It's a fantastic hole. It is, like you said, demanding. But that might have been one of the best drives we've seen so far. He might have a look, the best look into the green.
Yeah, Drew is maybe one of the best in the world at controlling really deep hyzer flip up shots like that. And it really gives him an advantage on both holes, like hole 12, where he's able to throw tunnel shots with mid ranges, super straight, but also on holes like this where, he's not going forehand, but he can still keep that disc tight to the right hand side and not fade out as much as other guys.
And you see where Groth laid up to? That's essentially where a good drive would land from last year's tee position. But I can see why they moved it. You definitely want to make it a lot more challenging.
Wow. That was a great shot from Braeden. I mean, it had the perfect angle, perfect line, but when it's that downhill at the end, there's just nothing to get the disc to stop.
Right. Yeah, just tough to control. There is a solid shot there from Hancock, just smartly playing for the par on this one. And I would assume Drew is going for the green.
Looks like he's got a slower disc, probably a putter in hand.
Yeah, I think that might be an NV.
I think it was a safe play. Maybe if it gets a little, glidey, could give him a long look, but
This needs to get down. Get down.
it
Get down.
does.
Wow. See the little bubble? There's like a little bubble out over there, and he just stays in bounds.
Yeah, big, important upshots here. Got to stick this one close. Definitely don't want to leave yourself with a 40-footer downhill looking at the water. So far, looking good from these guys.
Yeah. Little tester there for Drew on the elevated basket, but nothing he hasn't been able to handle so far.
So this is a par putt for Braeden coming back uphill. Just never gives it the height. A par putt for Micah as well. Does
good
not
set.
connect. So a par putt for Drew to keep his lead at 3 strokes does knock it down
Solid.
to stay at 9 under. This is also the point in the round where these guys, nobody's really shredding on this card relative to par. So these guys might want to start taking a look at their phones and see what the chase cards are doing. We did see some pretty good starts from a couple folks down the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's a good point. What is like the correct hole to start looking at that stuff? You looking at it on hole 10? Or are you looking at it at hole 15? Like, what's going on?
I think actually before this hole is the time to do it, because this is a hole that the scores can affect the decision you make. Same thing here.
Yeah, that is a very good point. You can see hole 15, par 3, 288 feet. To get to the pin, you got to go over this OB on this left side. You can throw a forehand, you can throw a backhand, but you just want to make sure you get through this gap and over. We don't really see many people take the right side. It is there, but it's tough to get over to the basket. And GT opts for the overstable forehand play and does get through.
Yeah, that's definitely the safer option. Fades him out to circle's edge short, but is inbounds. Drew just laying up.
Whoa. That was unexpected. I understand it, and it was still unexpected.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to lay up, might as well go down the right side and maybe you give yourself an outside look. But I get at the same time, maybe he just didn't practice it, so wasn't feeling it.
Oh my God.
There's a chance, too. Good shot there by Braeden. There's a chance, too, that the first round or the second round, maybe he found the water and he just didn't want to bother with it this time.
Yeah, fair point. Nice shot from sides. He was able to get a nice tree direction at the end to keep him close. Micah, this was looking great, but such a tough kick.
So we'll see if Gibson's decision pays off for him here.
Big sidearm guy. Oh, that's a beautiful hole, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a par.
Yeah, if you're going to have a game plan like that, it's always nice to actually execute it.
But it's even better to execute a 30-foot birdie putt. GT Hancock going to take a stroke on Drew, make this 2 strokes with 3 to play after hole 15. Micah Groth going to have a par putt here, does save it. Keeps him still in the mix, but he's probably going to have to birdie out at least to give him a chance.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hancock coming through. Clutch putting here. Here is Sides coming back for his birdie.
It's a good putt.
This is one that I think some of the guys here are counting on getting, or at least having a putt at.
A bunch of scores all over the place.
Hole 16, par 5, 959 feet, having to deal with this gap off the tee. Don't go too far to the left. It is OB down this whole left side. It is basically jail on the right side. If you can get yourself up and on this hill, you can find your way down and into this valley. If you land in here, you want to get a nice skip off of this hard ground up and into the basket. So there's a couple different ways to play this. You can try and blast one up there, so then you can actually blast one down and have a short approach. And that was a fantastic drive by Hancock. Or you can try and chip your way down the fairway and have a kind of a longer shot into the green.
Either way, objective number one is get out this gap. This is fading a little left from Braeden. Is gonna just barely leak into the greens.
Yeah. This calls for that shot you were saying Drew's so good at, that like hyzer flip, just crush, and executed it well. I think it was probably a little lower than what he wanted, but that'll work.
At the same time, though, given the safe play we saw from him on the last hole, maybe he was just trying to kind of drive that into the ground.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guarantee him an inbounds shot, and now he can kind of just play safe on the second, just throw a nice smooth turnover. Looks like a putter. Although he kind of ripped that putter.
He does that. You heard him say it. It's all he needs, and it's true. This is that chip. You can throw another putter or mid into the green.
Like the forehand play from Micah, plenty of space out there. Puts himself in the middle as well. Very similar spot to where Drew was. Probably around 300 or less into the green from where those guys are at.
Yeah. This is so easy to want to like crush it on your second shot, and you just find yourself too far left or too far right instead of just playing a smart shot into the middle. So I think these guys have probably done that, learned their lesson, and just know that this is all you need.
So after going out of bounds sides now, this looks like a nice line, just the subtle turnover.
I love this.
Oh, and it's still going.
Unbelievable.
That is an absolute smash of a shot there. He's going to have a very easy up and down for par from the mouth of the gap.
So now these guys are trying to keep this low on hyzer and have it skip up and into the basket. And Groth a little short there. Look at that dust cloud, though. A little short there from getting the big flare skip they're looking for.
Hey, just
except for Drew.
Yeah, or just go over the top, Dan. What are you talking about?
I don't do Drew things, I guess. That was well, see, he should have, hindsight.
Listen to you.
Hindsight. No, I'm sure he's done that plenty of times, and it's worked great. Just unfortunate that time.
Yeah, I mean that's the game you play, the Plinko game you play when you go for those high shots. Sometimes you just catch a tree that you couldn't see, or a random branch that kicks you off the intended path. Good upshot and par save from sides. Micah's got to think about
Groth
running this putt.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not a bad bid. He's pretty far away there. See if Drew should have something up and into the basket. Probably not a too runnable of a putt, but maybe.
Yeah, it gives it a little bit of a spinny bid. Unable to connect, though. So Hancock, a chance to take another stroke. Just 5 holes ago, he was 5 strokes back of, 4 holes ago, he was 5 strokes back of Drew.
Wow.
And now with 2 holes left, he is just 1 stroke behind.
He's gone on a tear. These guys are going to be tapping in for their pars as we head to 17 to finish up these last 2 holes. Hole 17, par 4, 461 feet, tight gap off the tee. Don't go left, don't go right. Stick to the middle. Get to the landing zone right about here, and then pitch yourself up this hill. If you go too far off the tee, you will find a drop-off. So this one's really all about that tee shot and finding the landing zone.
Hancock up first can really put some pressure on if he can pure this one. And it is looking very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's money.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have placed the disc in a much better spot than that.
Probably not. And what a time to do it. Sides catching one a little early, fortunate to knock down into the middle.
Yeah, Drew hits early.
That's trouble. He is going to have to find a scramble just to get to the landing zone.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh my God!
I love watching Micah play. Micah plays how I wish my forehands flew.
That's awesome.
It was just such a nice, probably like some sort of soft zone that he's just flipping up. Little drift. Ugh. Braeden trying to get aggressive there does not pay off.
So here's Drew. Let's see if and he will pitch up to that landing zone we were talking about. But it's not a guarantee from there. Like, there's still gaps he has to hit, and you can see he went up against that tree. Micah here is able to just chip a forehand up the hill, and he'll have a short one left for his birdie.
Yeah, big time shot for GT here. If he can put this close, he'll at least have a share of the lead going into the last hole. That's early, though. Kind of sneaks its way through.
Yeah, that's a little deep. Downhill putt coming back 25, 30 feet, but definitely still puts the pressure on Drew to make sure he gets up and down from here.
Yeah, big time up and down, looking to save the par, and that just catches one of those late trees.
Not a bad kick, though. That's still in the circle.
Yeah, he's going to have a putt. Oh, Braeden has to go overhand, gets out. Nice shot from him to get a long look at the par. Oh, and knocks it down. What a save.
Very nice.
So about 30 feet for Gibson. Looking to save the par, keep him at 9 under.
Come on. Yes, sir.
He gets it.
Very nice scramble from Drew. Again, he's been hitting those putts all day. Nothing different. Just a different situation.
Nice
Awesome.
birdie from Micah.
Forehand.
On a
Very
hole
cool.
that moves left the entire time.
Yeah. You love to see it. So see if Hancock can match Drew here.
Yeah, both of these guys have been very solid inside the circle. A little downhill. Like you said, probably about 25, 30 feet. No wind back here in the woods. Wow.
No. Oh, man. And you know what? Drew has the advantage here on this last hole that you got to crush off the tee. And you can see it here. Wide open bomb shot on hole 18, par 5, 924 feet. You can play the left side and go over the OB, or you can play this right side down into this gap. Get to this bubbled out landing zone, and then pitch yourself up and into this green. All the tall grass is OB. Behind the basket's OB. We did see an eagle here on day 1. I do not believe we saw one on day... Did we see one on day 2?
No eagles in the second round, just
Yeah.
the one from day 1 from Jake Mon. So we'll see if anybody gets aggressive here. That's a bomb from Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's left enough to where if he wanted to, he could go out and around. Maybe go for the green, so we'll see.
I think so. So Hancock needing a good drive off this tee to give himself a chance at the eagle, maybe, but definitely a birdie.
Yeah, in theory, you'd like to outdrive Drew here to make him make a decision first. No offense to GT, but that's a hard thing to do in general.
Yeah. But solid drive by him nonetheless. I don't think it's eagle range, but it's definitely birdie.
Yeah, this is overturned from sides. We'll see if it kicks out. I don't think it did. It's going to be tough from there. Yeah, if you're Drew, you just got to find the fairway here, pitch down, secure a birdie, and that gives you a pretty good chance to take this thing home. But we'll see what he decides to do off the tee.
This was a ripper.
Oh my God. Whew. Is that in the... it's inbounds, but that was so far.
Oh my gosh. I feel like he doesn't have to go for the green, but he's in a great spot to do it.
I mean, if I'm Drew Gibson from there, I might pull the Simon Lizotte D-Glow play and just go a million feet past the basket and just take my 20-foot birdie putt comebacker.
It's a possibility. We'll see what he decides to do. You can see Hancock, just throwing the forehand out to that bubbled out landing zone. But still got to execute it. It's not a guarantee.
No, but he throws it well, puts him in position. Micah gonna do the same thing.
All right, so what do we do here now? He's got a putter in his hand.
Yep, so just laying up. Makes sense. That's the smart play. Put yourself in bounds. Put yourself in bounds again. Put the pressure on GT to birdie it. And I mean, at this point, if Drew birdies, he takes this thing down. So just give yourself a chance.
Oh, feeling a little nerves.
And he's up first, so it doesn't get a great wind read, and that is going to be out of bounds. Oh, no. I mean, I guess if you're going to make a mistake, you want to go long because you don't want to be on the short side of the sticks. But what an opportunity for GT. Yeah, and depending on where Drew went out, he might still have a long putt for his par as Hancock sticks that one very close for birdie.
Yeah, now Drew has to make that
to push a playoff.
Yeah. If assuming GT is going to make his putt. What a change of events.
Yeah, very interesting developments here down the final stretch. Nice shot from Micah as well. He's going to have a birdie putt to get to 7. If he's looking at the scores, Jake Hebenheimer is currently at 7 in the clubhouse. So this would be to put Micah into a tie for 3rd place.
Very nice.
He knocks it down.
Well done. Way to battle all around, finishing his day off with 2 birdies. So here it is.
Yeah, huge putt for Drew Gibson. Finds himself right about 25 feet into a headwind to most likely force a playoff.
Wouldn't be Kansas golf if you didn't have to make it in a headwind.
Gets it.
Knocks it down.
Huge putt for Drew Gibson to keep his chances alive. Braeden sides to finish his day off strong. Knocks down the par save. Well done. And as long as GT Hancock can tap in this 10-footer or so. Wait for it. I'm gonna break out my bad impression here in a second, Dan. Just wait for it.
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
All right, this is actually not a tap-in. Still
It's
about
not.
a 15-footer in a stiff headwind.
With nerves, with everyone. Everyone's over there watching.
Playoffs. We're getting free golf, folks, here at the Kansas City Wide Open. 54 holes was not enough. We got GT Hancock and Drew Gibson after an absolutely
I'm
wild
gonna flip a
final.
coin, GT. I'm gonna give you heads.
Coin, please.
You got it. Drew, I'm gonna give you tails. If it's head, GT goes first on this hole. Heads, GT. Tails, Drew. All right. And if you tie on this hole, then you reverse it the next hole and just keep reversing as long as you tie. All right.
Heads me.
It is heads. GT will tee off first. Drew will tee off second.
All right, you heard it there first. We're starting on hole 10, and we will go through the remaining 9 holes of the course until we have a winner. Very interesting
This is
hole to have a playoff on.
Yeah, I really like it because it is a risk-reward type shot like we talked about during the round. So, but is it worth it?
Both of these guys think it is
Wow.
not going
And that
for
just-
the layup.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how tough this hole is to land that green.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen now multiple guys mess up this upshot. So definitely not a guaranteed par, even if you play for the layup. Hancock up first. This looks nice if the distance is good. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, almost dunks it. That would have been a way to end it.
Walk it off.
Yeah.
I think we saw that at AM Worlds last year. I think that was Axel Olsen dunked one for the win. Can we get it again? Not this time, but both guys do stick it close. We'll have 10-footers to push this thing into hole 11. It's one of those things, too, if you're these guys, and especially if you're Drew, you took a lot of strokes on GT on holes 11 and 12
Yeah.
during the final round, so I think he's probably just thinking if I can get through hole 10, he likes his chances.
Well, I think. Oh, this is the one Drew.
Oh, that's true. Never
Actually
mind.
took. Yeah, this is the one Drew lost a lot of strokes on. So if he can get by this one,
So
hole
maybe a
12
little
is-
chance for redemption, and that is a very fortunate break to stay in bounds.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think he was switching up his play there from what he was, obviously, because he went OB from doing it before, but gets a little high on that one. So GT with an opportunity to put this one close.
Yeah, he had a very short birdie putt in round 3 on this one, just missed it a bit low. So we'll see if he can replicate it.
Yeah, the game plan for the tee shot stays the same. Just that little bit of drift out of the hand working its way up the fairway.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Just a bit off as well, but he is going to be in a much worse spot than Gibson. and needs to find some way to give himself a putt at this.
Oh my goodness. What do you do here?
I think you just look up, try to find the biggest gap you can, and blast a tomahawk through it.
I guess so.
Oh, he's going roller. I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's a great shot.
He gives himself a chance. I mean, we couldn't see a thing in there.
Yeah, just to get yourself out and inbounds is a great effort from Hancock. So Drew just needs to put this thing close to put all the pressure in the world on GT. And that's looking pretty good.
Yep. Well done. So here we go. GT's got to give this one everything he's got.
Yeah, 60-footer, if not longer. Knows he needs it to push this thing to another hole in this playoff. Little tailwind. Just didn't quite have it. There you go. We had ourselves a roller coaster final day, including some bonus golf. But after all of that is said and done, Drew Gibson comes out on top and is going to be your 2024 Kansas City Wide Open champion.
Yeah, well done. Came out swinging. Hot start. Had some struggles, but then able to
Ladies and gentlemen,
finish it out.
Grip EQ 42nd Kansas City Wide Open, presented by DFX Disc MPO champion, Drew Gibson.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Good job, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
What a performance. It was a fun one to watch as we take a look at that final scoreboard. Plenty of stroke swings, plenty of drama. This one did not disappoint. Wow. I'm at a loss for words, Dan.
I mean, that was probably the most exciting last round we've seen all year. Just a pleasure to watch, a pleasure to see these guys battle.
Yeah, it really was. Thank you all for tuning in and watching this coverage. Thanks to Elevation Discs for supporting. And make sure to subscribe so you're not going to want to miss it. I'm Nathan Johnson for Dan Brooks Wells. We will see you next time.